On June 28, 1976, a young mother named Kathy Halla vanished without a trace. Despite an extensive investigation, the case went cold and her killer remained at large for over 4 decades. For Kathy's brother, Mike, this became a reality when their sister vanished at the young age of 20. Kathy's abandoned car was found in a nearby parking lot, sending shockwaves through the community. The news of her disappearance spread like wildfire, capturing the attention of everyone who knew her. Fast forward to 2022, nearly 5 decades later, and advancements in forensic technology have opened new doors for this long-forgotten case. Well, it's thanks to the incredible power of science and technology that even the faintest trace of evidence can lead to a definitive solution. The process of DNA profiling has become increasingly refined over the years, allowing investigators to analyze minuscule samples that would have been beyond their reach just a few decades ago. But the journey from extracting the DNA to identifying the perpetrator is not an easy one. After all this time, the spotlight is on them, and their name is Joseph James D'Angelo. He was responsible for a multitude of offenses, including kidnapping, rape, and murder. His modus operandi was as chilling as his crimes, often targeting unsuspecting victims in their own homes and leaving them traumatized for life. Law enforcement officials pursued him relentlessly, but he seemed to be one step ahead of them, evading capture for years. The modus operandi, the choice of victims, and the sheer brutality of the attacks pointed to a single perpetrator. It was as if a dark cloud of evil had descended upon these communities, leaving an indelible mark on their collective psyche. The investigation into the Golden State Killer became one of the most extensive and complex in history. A task force comprising the brightest minds in law enforcement worked tirelessly to track him down. They realized they were dealing with a serial predator who posed a grave threat to public safety. The fear and uncertainty spread like wildfire, turning neighbors into suspects and friends into foes. No one was safe from the clutches of this enigmatic criminal. They combed through mountains of evidence, interviewed countless witnesses, and followed every possible lead. He seemed to vanish into thin air after each attack, taking his secrets with him. The frustration and determination of the investigators grew with each passing day as they raced against time to stop the killer's gruesome spree. But the killer seemed to be a phantom, always staying one step ahead, taunting authorities with his elusive nature. The brutality and psychological torment inflicted on the victims serve as a chilling reminder of the evil that can lurk within the human mind. The killer's ability to evade authorities for so long underscores the complexity of such investigations and the challenges faced by law enforcement. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit that many victims and their families found the strength to move forward despite the trauma they endured. The mystery surrounding his identity only added to the enigma, making him a formidable figure in criminal lore. Through advancements in DNA technology, investigators were able to link the Golden State Killer to specific crime scenes, solidifying his status as the prime suspect. It was as if a crack had appeared in the armor of his anonymity, allowing the light of justice to shine through. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Once inside, he would bind the victims, sometimes forcing them to participate in sexual acts and subjecting them to severe physical and psychological abuse. The Golden State Killer's motive for these attacks was never fully understood, but he seemed to derive pleasure from instilling fear and tormenting his victims. But this is not just an ordinary individual. Joseph James D'Angelo is known by another name, the Golden State Killer. The Golden State Killer's reign of terror began in the mid-1970s in the state of California. His first known crime was a burglary in the city of Visalia, which would later become known as the Visalia Rape. Over the next few months, he went on a rampage, committing a series of heinous acts that shocked the state. One of the most brutal attacks occurred in the city of Sacramento, where he targeted multiple couples in their homes, subjecting them to unimaginable horrors. This notorious criminal is infamous for a series of heinous crimes committed in California during the 1970s and 1980s. During his spree of terror, he terrorized multiple communities, leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. The victims he chose were diverse, coming from different backgrounds and walks of life. Yet he targeted them indiscriminately, driven by a sinister purpose. The impact on the victims and their families was profound. Many suffered not only physical injuries, but also psychological trauma that lingered for years. The sense of security within these communities was shattered, replaced by fear and suspicion. It was as if a monster had emerged from the shadows, preying on their innocence. His reign of terror left a lasting impact on the communities he targeted, and his name became synonymous with fear and uncertainty. It involves meticulous laboratory work, complex data analysis, and a thorough investigation to piece together the evidence. Each step is crucial in ensuring the accuracy and reliability of the results. The revelation that the same person was behind both sets of crimes is nothing short of mind-boggling. It raises questions about the extent of his criminal activities and the motives behind his heinous actions. Could there be more victims whose cases remain unsolved? How did he manage to evade authorities for so long? These are just a few of the burning questions that arise when two seemingly unrelated cases converge. In a remarkable breakthrough, investigators were able to extract DNA from evidence collected at the crime scene. This tiny snippet of genetic material holds the key to unraveling the mystery that has plagued Kathy's family for so long. With renewed hope, law enforcement officials embarked on a mission to identify the individual whose DNA matched the sample from the crime scene. They scoured through countless databases, searching for a match, eager to bring closure to this decades-old case. But as days turned into weeks and then months, hope began to dwindle. The authorities conducted a thorough investigation, but it seemed as if Kathy had evaporated into thin air. This development sent shockwaves through the community, bringing a glimmer of hope after all these years. You've spent countless hours poring over the details, chasing leads that often turn to dust. Then suddenly, like a beacon of light in the darkness, a DNA match emerges. It's a moment that reaffirms your commitment to justice and gives you the strength to keep going. The possibility of finally bringing closure to the victim's family keeps you motivated. But it's not just about the professional satisfaction. It's also about the personal toll these cases take on those involved. The weight of unresolved mysteries can be heavy, and the emotional impact on the families of the victims can be devastating. When a cold case begins to move forward, it's a ray of hope, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unwavering pursuit of justice. Finally, there was someone who might be held accountable for the crime that had remained unsolved for so long. But before we reveal the identity of this individual, let's take a moment to appreciate the significance of this breakthrough. Every lead turned into a dead end, leaving her loved ones desperate for answers. They couldn't understand why someone would want to harm her, and they yearned for justice. Kathy had been last seen at a popular tavern in their hometown of Burlington, Wisconsin. It was just another ordinary day until it wasn't. As night fell, Kathy had failed to return home, which was unusual for her. Her family tried calling the local police, but they were unsuccessful. Little did they know that a tragedy had already unfolded, and their worst fears were about to become a grim reality. But what if I told you that after all this time, we finally know who was responsible for her untimely demise? Yes, that's right. Thanks to some amazing advancements in technology, this decades-old mystery has finally been solved. Kathy's case grew colder with each passing year, fading into the depths of the unsolved mysteries. However, her family never gave up hope. They held on to the belief that one day her case would be solved and her killer brought to justice. Their determination to seek the truth remained steadfast, refusing to let time erase their sister's memory. So let's delve into the details and uncover the truth behind this chilling crime. Imagine living for over 4 decades with the haunting memory of your sister as disappearance fresh in your mind. As the sun rose the following morning, a horrifying discovery awaited them. The passage of time brought with it a heavy dose of reality. But here's where the story takes an unexpected twist. Now, you might be wondering, how could DNA analysis, even after all this time, provide the answers they seek? In Kathy's case, the DNA analysis revealed a match, pointing to a particular individual as a potential suspect. Imagine being part of a team of investigators working on a cold case. Now let's focus on the individual who matched the DNA profile, someone whose identity was kept secret for the sake of the investigation. Until now, the Golden State Killer's crimes were as diverse as they were terrifying. As we delve deeper into the connection between Joseph James DeAngelo and Kathy's case, we begin to uncover a web of complexities that will leave you astonished. To truly understand the gravity of this discovery, let's take a closer look at the crimes of the Golden State Killer. As law enforcement officials pieced together the timeline of the Golden State Killer's crimes, they began to notice disturbing similarities. Then came the breakthrough that changed everything. Now let's delve into the horrifying world of the Golden State Killer, his crimes, and explore the chilling details that make this case one of the most notorious in history. His preferred method was to enter the residences of unsuspecting victims, often late at night, armed with a gun and wearing a mask to conceal his identity. As his crime spree continued, the authorities grew increasingly concerned. Throughout his reign of terror, the Golden State Killer evaded capture, leaving law enforcement officials baffled. The case of the Golden State Killer highlights the dark realities of crime and the profound impact it can have on individuals and communities. As we reflect on this harrowing tale, let us also remember the importance of seeking justice and closure for victims and their families. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our future videos.